Well, good morning, everyone. And it's great to have such a wonderful sound here in the church building. We are rather thin on the ground, but thank you for coming out, guys. You're very welcome today. Well, friends, we now come to this year's Nativity presentation. And of course, normally in the past few years, we've been doing Instant Nativity plays, but sadly that's not possible with social distancing. So instead, we're doing actually the Alphabet Nativity play, where we've actually got different people from across the whole church family to record the different parts. So for each of the successive letters of the alphabet, that's the English alphabet in case you're watching in any other countries, from A through to Z, there's going to actually be some sentences in rhyme. And I just want to say again a huge thank you to all those who took part in this, because guys, you did a really good job. And in between different sections, we're going to be having a few carols that remind us to earth the message of Christmas. So guys, are you ready to get underway? I didn't hear that. Are you ready to get underway? And I hope you're ready online too to join in this, because it promises to be really special. So it begins with me. I've got the privilege of saying an introduction, and then we hand over to the wonderful cast. We'd like to say a big hello to everybody here, and thank you all for joining us at this special time of year. Of course, we're here to celebrate a very special day. And so begins our alphabet-inspired Christmas play.
Our alphabet nativity begins, as you might guess, with A, which is for angel, that came to earth to bless the lovely Mary and of course her husband, soon to be, with news of baby Jesus. Quite a shock, you might agree.
So B is for beginning of the story we all know, for birth and baby Jesus, and for Bethlehem, although...
Before we go to Bethlehem, let's think a little more about the build-up to the birth and what went on before.
So continuing with the story, and to the letter C.
An emperor called Caesar made a countrywide decree
that everyone should travel to her husband's place of birth.
A census would be taken, a register of worth.
For then he could collect a tax from every one of them.
That is why we're at Bethlehem.
Was carrying a good baby and challenging your green.
So here comes the next letter, of course, for letter D.
So we've got through A to C. Haven't they done well so far? But of course, you know, the letter D, you can probably guess what that could stand for. Well, a clue lies in the song that we're now going to enjoy singing. Remember, humming behind our mouths or singing at home. Judy will lead us in, of course, Little Donkey.
Been a long time
a question for those present. What letter did we just get up to? D. So let's see how the script continues. Thank you, Sarah.
A donkey, we're assuming, would have helped her on her way, and Joseph would have done his best to find somewhere to stay. Of course, when they arrived, he would have knocked on every door, but always heard the same reply that he had heard before.
Our alphabet nativity is now at letter E, as everybody said that they'd no room, as you can see, until eventually someone offered them the floor, which brings us to the letter F, which stands for so much more.
Finally, they found a funny place for them to stay. Fancy that, a stable god's son sleeping in the hay.
G is for the good news that the angels came to share. Glory, hallelujah, there were angels everywhere. Go, they told the shepherds, go, be on your way. Go and find the baby Jesus sleeping in the hay.
The shepherds set off and hurried on their way to find the baby Jesus gently resting in the hay. We can't forget that H is for a really horrid king, but Herod will come later when he calls the right ding-ding.
So, we've got up to the letter H, yes. And of course, what, the appropriate carol to sing at this stage that we've been hearing about are the shepherds. So we're going to sing While Shepherds Watch Their Flocks by Night. So, to the letter H, and now we head on to the letter I. Let's find out what the rest of the story has to say.
So next, the letter I will be for innkeepers who'd said,
they had no room, so Mary and her husband had no bed.
Instead, they'd had to stay in a stable, not ideal.
I don't imagine that important is the way they feel.
But near the centre of the alphabet, we have to say,
that's the J is just for Jesus, centre of our Christmas play.
So as the shepherds knew that Jesus was their Lord and
King,
they knelt and offered worship, which was all they had to bring. Of course, the letter
L
reminds us of the
Lord
above, and we cannot mention
L
without remembering his
love.
The middle of the alphabet, the centre of our play,
M
is for
Lion, Messiah.
In the
manger, in the hay.
Full of hay.
One thing I love about this alphabet nativity is that every reading has been recorded differently, which adds to the richness and also the reminder that we're all what? Unique, unrepeatable miracles. So we've just discovered that Jesus has been born and he's lying in the hay. So what better song to enjoy singing? What better carol? Away in a manger. How many of you love that carol? I think many of us do, yes, indeed. Well, let's find out what the letter N has to say for us today.
For Jesus came as nobody, no special place of birth, no title and no status when he came to live on earth. No one would have noticed, no one would have cared, but God had sent a star, so the three kings were prepared.
O is for the star that hovered overhead, where these three kings found Jesus in his manger bed. They offered him the gifts they brought. This is what they were: frankincense and gold, and a very smelly myrrh.
They praised him and presented him with precious gifts of gold and frankincense and myrrh, just as you've been told. Again, we haven't mentioned that King Herod questioned them and eventually discovered his birth in Bethlehem. So now their quest is over, we can quietly reflect and think of those three royals offering their great respect. And so at Christmas time, in the excitement we must try, remembering that Jesus came and how he came and why.
So from P, Q and R, we move on to the letter S. Saviour, God's Son, Jesus, sent to us on earth to bless. And as the alphabet continues, we reach to the letter T.
As we all say, thank you, Jesus, as he came for you and me.
Indeed, Jesus who came for you and for me. Earlier we heard about some presents. How many of you are expecting frankincense and myrrh for Christmas this year? It's not the kind of presents you would expect. You may expect gold of some form, perhaps. That would be nice. But the fact is, all those gifts have significance. But now's not the time to go into that. But they were special gifts fit for a king, because Jesus was born king. Well, we come to another very much loved Christmas carol, and that is O Little Town of Bethlehem. Earlier we heard about a particular character in the Christmas Nativity whose name began with H. Perhaps you can remember who that was, who caused a right ding-ding. Well, I actually think he caused an awful lot more. Let's find out what happened.
Unfortunately, though, King Herod wasn't glad. He liked to be important, and the news had made him mad.
So V is for the vicious, nasty Herod and his plan to rid the world of Jesus. Herod was a horrid man.
But while shepherds, kings and angels worshipped Jesus where he lay, the vicious king called Herod didn't find him in the hay.
So U and V and W have all now been and gone.
But Herod couldn't find and execute God's only son.
And so King Herod thankfully is exiting this play.
So we can get excited at the thought of Christmas Day.
So now the letter X that always marks the spot. It represents a treasure, and God's Son is worth a lot. In fact, the X could represent the cross where Jesus died, later when he'd grown up and for us was crucified.
Our alphabet nativity is almost over now, and so we need to round the Christmas story up somehow. So too the letter Y for you. Or could it be a word? A question we should ask ourselves when this story's heard. So why did Jesus come to earth? And why be born this way? Why choose a humble stable and a manger full of hay?
We hope you'll stop to wonder, remembering our play. We hope you'll think of Jesus this year on Christmas Day, remembering the gentle baby sleeping in his bed.
For Z is for the peaceful dreams as he rests his head.
Let's give a round of applause to all those who took part. As I said, all recorded differently, and thank you guys for recording those, for you've really made the Alphabet Nativity this year far better than just listening to my voice the whole time. Don't you agree? Yes, the congregation is saying yes here. Well, an appropriate way to finish off this nativity, in a sense, Alphabet Nativity, is to sing, O Come All You Faithful. And of course, we're going to sing 3 verses, but actually 2 of the verses we're singing, which have been around for many, many years, are not ones perhaps we know as much, but they remind us of important parts of the nativity story. So if 2 of the verses are slightly unknown, don't worry. These have been around for many decades, but we're going to enjoy those now. Thank you, musicians. So let's pray, everyone. May the joy of Christmas fill your days with gladness. May the peace of Christmas take away your anxiety. May the light of Christmas shine through your deepest darkness, bringing God's everlasting hope into your lives. And the blessing of God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be among you and remain with you always. And everyone said, Amen.